Hello there, it's the 3rd of March and this is Race to Power on WION The World is One. I'm Eric Njoka. US President Donald Trump is set to make his first address to Congress in the next 2 days. The joint session comes amid a fallout between America and Ukraine over efforts to end the war that erupted into a three-way brawl between Trump, Zelensky and VP J.D. Vance. We'll look at what happens next. And China's capital is getting ready to once again host thousands of delegates from across the country for what are its biggest political meetings every year, the 2 sessions. We tell you what that meeting means for China's economy and the world. Welcome to the show. It is a new week, but the unprecedented public diplomatic fallout between US and Ukraine is still making waves, not just for President Zelensky, but also for Europe. While the Ukrainian president is back in his war-torn nation after a whirlwind visit, a lot transpired over the weekend and more high-level meetings are expected ahead. Let's unpack where the current power dynamics stand soon after US President Donald Trump and his number 2, J.D. Vance, doubled down on Zelensky at the Oval. European leaders opened their arms to the Ukrainian president. London hosted a special summit on Sunday led by Keir Starmer. The leadership rallied behind Zelensky. UK, France and Ukraine agreed to present a peace plan to the US. Zelensky says that Kiev would still like to sign a minerals deal with Washington and that one moment cannot define the relationship between the two nations. But it remains to be seen if this is a sentiment that Trump agrees with.
Dignity is one of our values, and I believe that as president, I must defend the dignity of Ukrainian soldiers, of all our people, which is what, basically, I do. And soldiers, our people, have shown everyone that it is their right to be free, and that this is a war for independence. It's a matter of values, it is not about money.
Meanwhile, European nations are looking at an action-packed week ahead as leaders scrambled to determine a way out for Ukraine and also embolden their own defenses. On Tuesday, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen will inform EU member states about plans to strengthen the region's defense infrastructure and military capabilities. Just hours ago, European Council President Antonio Costa announced a special European Council will be held on Thursday in order to approve concrete decisions aimed at increasing the bloc's defense capabilities. EU leaders and Ukraine's president are invited to Brussels for this summit.
No one more than Ukrainians want peace, and of course we are supporting them to achieve this lasting peace. Peace is not just a ceasefire. We offer Russia more time to come again stronger. What we want is a just and lasting peace.
Meanwhile, the power corridors in Washington are echoing with calls for Zelensky to step down. Trump's national security advisor Mike Waltz said that Ukraine needs a leader who can negotiate with US, Russia and subsequently end the war. Although the Ukrainian leader has reiterated his willingness to step down in exchange for NATO's membership for Ukraine, Zelensky says that it will not be easy to replace him. In the coming few weeks, European leaders and Zelensky have their work cut out to find a way back into America's diplomatic folds. Question is, at what cost will Trump allow it? So there are a couple of summits and council meetings to be held in the coming weeks. And this is Europe rallying behind Volodymyr Zelensky as the president of Ukraine. And these meetings and summits come after the brawl between President Trump, his vice president, J.D. Vance, and the Ukrainian president, Volodymyr Zelensky, at the Oval on Friday. That brawl has caused a lot of geopolitical tensions and ramifications. And now Europe is rallying behind Ukraine and is seeking peace. It says that they cannot allow Russia to extend the war to their corridors or to their fences or to their countries. And this comes after European leaders, led by British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, held a 2-hour-long summit in London in the presence of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. And that summit ended yesterday with Prime Minister Keir Starmer saying that they will present their peace plan to President Donald Trump. Let's talk to our guest now. Ben Aris is the founder and editor-in-chief of BNE IntelliNews, is now joining us live on this broadcast from Berlin, Germany. Mr. Aris, good to see you, and thank you very much for making time for us. I'll just quickly go to my first question, which is, we've seen the brawl that happened on Friday. We've seen the ramifications of that brawl. There are now, you know, the tensions are brewing as we speak. Russia and America are playing on the same playbook. They say that Kiev is not willing to find peace. President Zelensky needs to go, and then they can have talks with Ukraine to find lasting peace. Do you think the summit or the agreements made by European leaders will be watered down going forward?
In so much as, you know, relations between Zelensky and the White House have been categorically broken. The Americans are refusing to talk to him. And they're stopping all the aid to Ukraine immediately to be confirmed. And at the same time, Zelensky flew from Washington to Europe, where he was well received. And everywhere there was an outpouring of support for him. But now they're very conscious, the Europeans, that they need to rescue this relationship and restart the dialogue, carry the can. And this talk of the Europeans putting together a peace plan to present to the Americans, Trump is in the driving seat. I mean, he's already decided what he wants to do. He's already in negotiations with the Russians. The Europeans have been excluded. And so he's in a position to completely ignore any plan that they put forward. I mean, they have no leverage over him whatsoever. He has the leverage because he has the money, he has the arms they need. So I'm not actually expecting much. I think Europe is now scrambling to try and find some position where it is relevant. And at the end of the day, it's going to be relevant in so much as America's going to cut Ukraine off, and Europe is going to take the whole burden for both military and financial.
Mr. Ben Aris, I'm sorry to cut you short. Mr. Ben Aris, I'm really sorry to cut you short, but I'm afraid we'll not continue with this conversation because your connection is very poor. But all said and done, thank you very much for your time. We'll have to leave it there for now. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.